Today we will speak about 6 pillars of devotee success, and they are: ask excellent questions, use positive language, expand your intelligence, grow giver's heart, grow giver's heart, become a trusted guide, and make a wonderful contribution.
Become a trusted
Guide.
and
Make a wonderful contribution.
You sent me after this. That's all.
So this is actually a seminar that I give, and it was called before Personal Lifestyle Revolution, but now it's called 6 Pillars of Devotee Success. It's a more powerful title, I think. And I gave this seminar in a couple of countries a few times. There is one Sunday program where I went through all 6 in 1 hour in Soho, in London, Soho. This is on YouTube. And if you want to plan your life, if you want to coach yourself, I think these 6 can help a lot. Over the years, I have been learning from the Shastra and also from professionals, and I find that these are both in professional books and in Shastra, these 6 principles. And I think they can be really helpful for planning your life, from designing a successful life, and also for dealing with different challenges that you face in your life. So let's start with questions. Asking excellent questions. In our tradition, we have inquiry, Adhato Brahma Jigyasa. Inquiry is you inquire about the absolute truth, you inquire about self-realization, you inquire about the purpose of life, and you find a guru from whom you can inquire. And for us, this is Srila Prabhupada and his bona fide representatives. We inquire from them. But inquiry or asking questions is also very much admired as a great success principle in the professional world, in the material world, in the business world, in the area of self-help, success. All teachers will agree, I believe, that questions, powerful questions, are one of the most important success tools. So, in his book, Srila Prabhupada asks questions and answers them, and also there is so many questions by different devotees in the Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavad Gita also Arjuna is asking questions. You can find so many wonderful questions in the Shastra. So devotees ask questions that clarify doubts, for example, different doubts about what is this, why Krishna does this, why Krishna acts like this. Then there is question about how can we do something, how can we advance, how can we get purified. It's called how can we questions. And what is interesting in our existence is that our thinking is consisted of questions and answers. So if you analyze your thinking, you can see that you always ask yourself a question and then try to come up with an answer. So maybe before coming here, you were asking, shall I go or not? Or before you agreed with me for the time, and you concluded that you should come. If you try to observe your thinking from the side, if you can, then you can see that there is a lot of questions and answers. And if you improve the quality of your questions, then your thinking improves. Why? Because you will get better answers, either from yourself or from others. So there is are thinking, there is questions which influence thinking. Thinking influences our conclusions about what is good, what is not good. Then our conclusions influence our decisions. You conclude that something is good and you make a decision that you will do it. So that means that decisions influence action, and action brings
reaction.
You have to laugh on the side. Action brings results. Beautiful, yeah, it's true. It's true. Reaction, action brings reaction. So action brings results, and you want results. There is one of the best questions that I can share with you is, what would you like to have in your life? Results or excuses? What would you like to have? Results or excuses? Results? Results? Results. And what you are good at? So if you want results, you have to become better in setting goals and achieving goals. Then you can get results. And you have to become very bad in making excuses. There is a true story from the Second World War. One man was in a concentration camp. Nazis, they killed his family in front of his eyes, took him to the concentration camp, and he didn't know when he will be killed. But he wanted to get out, so he tried to speak to prisoners and make some plan, but they said that it's very well protected, you can't get out, it's dangerous, I mean, they'll kill you. So nobody was enthusiastic. And he was thinking about this a lot, and maybe praying also, I don't know. But one day they come back from work, they were working, breaking stones, and he saw a truck with dead corpses, because they put them in gas chambers and kill them, and then put them on the truck and take them out in one big hole. And he didn't have a lot of clothes, just a couple of things. So he took off his clothes and climbed on the truck and put his clothes in the bushes, and guards didn't notice because there was a lot of them and they are tired, and they don't expect anybody to try something. But somehow nobody saw him. I think he was at the end, and he was waiting. And after 15-20 minutes, the driver came and he drove the truck to the place where they unload the corpses. And together with other corpses, he was unloaded, offloaded, and he was waiting. And the truck driver smoked a cigarette a little bit, had a break, and left. He didn't notice that one of the corpses is alive. So, and this man was naked. He got up and ran 20 kilometers naked to freedom. So the reason why he succeeded was actually that he continued asking himself one question that helped him. Again and again he would ask the same question. So what question did he ask?
How can I come out of this?
Yes. How can I escape? How can I come out? Yeah. Other prisoners, they were asking other questions, will I be killed? Or why these people are so cruel to us? I don't know, different questions, but he continued asking, and he got this idea when he saw the truck. Somehow God helped him to get this answer to this very simple question, and then he used a little bit of his intelligence and skill, and he was able to escape of the well-kept prison.
So his question was, how do I escape? So he was thinking outside the prison camp, which eventually led him to get outside of the prison camp, where the other people were just thinking within the prison camp, and so they stay prisoned. You mean like this?
Yeah.
That thoughts can, questions can.
Yeah. So so questions actually expand your options, and there is two words that expand all options. What else? If you use what else in any situation, you will expand your intelligence, expand your options. You can see more. Like in brainstorming, they always ask this. Okay, what else? And then people say, now this, then what else? And then they say, we don't have any more ideas. Okay, think, maybe you have the last idea. Oh yes, wow, this is the best idea. So if you continue asking what else, about anything that you want to achieve, then you can get or you can ask others also, not only yourself. I mean, there is more, two brains is more brains than one brain. More intelligence. There is two questions that eliminate all excuses. If not you, who? If not now, when? So we say, oh, I'm not qualified, and it's not time yet, and if not you, then who? If not you, who? If not now, when? You have, if not you, dash, who? If not now, dash, when? This will help you to eliminate excuses that you are making. So excuses are great obstacle to success. If you start noticing making excuses in your mind, you can correct this. I just read, somebody made a comment on my Facebook quoting Vaisheshika Prabhu, the Sankirtan minister for America and guru and temple president in San Jose in Silicon Valley. He said, I was born to be corrected. To me, this is like a statement of the century. I was born to be corrected. Who can say this? I mean, I fall at his feet. I wrote him an email immediately. But I should write, I fall at his feet. I didn't write that. I was born to be corrected. Who can say that? Who can say that? He is a guru. He is a Sankirtan minister. He is a book distributor. He has invented smart box for books to distribute themselves, without anybody distributing them. Just put box, put donations. And he's a temple president. He's running a community. And he says, I was born to be corrected. So what can we say? I can say I was born to be beaten up heavily, severely, so that I can come to my senses. So, if you want to learn how to stop with excuses, we can also have a special session about that and see what, just look very deeply into our excuses. But this is another topic. Now we are focusing on these 6 principles. Then to finish this part of today's discussion on questions, there is 2 questions that you can use in coaching yourself. What do you want, and what will you do about it? Actually 3 questions. And the 3rd question is when. So with these 3 questions you can coach yourself and coach anybody else.
Could you repeat the questions?
What do you want? What will you do about it, and when? Yes?
It's not like one more question. Is this realistic? It's not also like, but sometimes we. What do you want? Like sometimes what you want, then. But then I need to ask if this is realistic, not like this question.
This can be a sub-question of the question, what do you want?
Because,
I mean, you can create your own questions. Yes, regarding questions, you can create your personal questions that you can ask every day, which cover the most important areas of your life. Have I listened to my japa? Have I avoided sweets, for example? Have I avoided looking at ladies? Have I read today? Have I preached today? Have I gotten up early? So you can create a set of questions that you or somebody else can ask you every day to check if you are working on your top priorities. This is called personal questions. So this is the tool that can help you a lot. Personal questions. You create your own questions and then ask somebody to ask you every day. And you can have mutual session with this, or like you ask each other, you share questions and ask each other. In this way you can do very simple coaching, yeah?
what does it mean? What you do about it?
What will you do about it?
I mean, I can say, what do you want? I want ice cream. What do you do about it?
How are you going to get your goal?
How are you
Yes.
that
Yes, yeah. How will you... I mean, it also means, do you understand what is the price and are you ready to pay it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the price of getting something? Price of getting ice cream is to have some money. If you don't have, you have to earn. And to go to the shop, walking or with a car, and buy it. Then you get your ice cream. Yeah. Yeah, you define steps, how to get it. And when you give yourself a deadline, right now, give yourself a deadline. When? So this is very brief. I'm preparing a book about questions called The Power of Inquiry, or some devotees will help me, I believe. Because I have material, but it has to be sorted nicely, and I don't have time to do that. Neither I have knowledge how to do it. But you will have more, when I finish this book, we will have more. Or if we have a separate seminar, then we can do more exercises, and I can share with you more sets of powerful questions. And you can select from these questions something that you want to be your question, that will help your success. We can do that, if not now, maybe if I come in a couple of months again, session on questions. But this is a brief explanation about the power of questions and its relation to the scriptures also. I didn't go very deep in the matter, but do you have any questions about questions?
Sometimes I have the feeling when some questions makes me more more confused. For example, why I am doing this, in why I'm here in Krishna consciousness, and this question seems to me very far the answer. So it's confused me sometimes more. So what do you think about?
I think there are no confusing questions. The only thing that is confusing is the way we think, the way we understand. If you ask yourself why I'm here, this is a very good question. It's a question about your motive. Why are you here? And then why it may be confusing is that you are not sure why you are here and whether you should stay. So this is confusing, but the question is not confusing. The question is actually very good. Why I'm here. I ask these people quite often in coaching sessions, why are you in Krishna consciousness? What do you want to achieve by being here? And then sometimes people Sometimes they say, I don't know. But very rare. Usually they say, I want to be Krishna conscious, or be a better person, or realize God, or realize myself. This is not a bad question. I want to encourage you between you to have these kind of discussions, because when you talk to someone, it's different than when you talk to yourself. It gives you more clarity, and you can get feedback also, and you can get more questions from others to clarify your own thinking. So this is also like mutual coaching.
This kind of question I can ask other people to help themselves also.
Yeah, but also to help you. You give them the question, they ask you this question. And then you think and you answer aloud. You can record it, you can listen to it later. They can give you feedback what they think. Yes?
Yes, somehow I know which is good question, which is a bad question. Is some qualification?
Yes, there is a criteria, and the criteria is, does this question help my success or not?
Does this question help myself? No, help for success. No?
Help my success.
Yeah.
Does this question help my success? Of course, in order to ask this question, you have to define clearly what is success for you. Then you can know whether this question is helpful. Any other question about questions?
I think no, but should be. Sometimes I feel like I'm asking stupid questions. So how do I know? Sometimes it's like stupid questions or some intelligence question. I try to ask some intelligence question, but it is not really, maybe it's depend on my intelligence, maybe that I'm not very intelligent to ask intelligence question. So maybe it depends also on me, how the quality of the questions.
You can develop your skill of asking better and better questions by learning good questions from others and by practicing asking questions again and again. I mean, you can ask yourself a question, what questions should I ask myself in this situation? You can ask, what would be the best questions to ask in this situation? For example, you are in a situation that you have a problem. Okay, let's say you have a health problem and it's becoming serious. So you ask yourself, okay, what questions should I ask myself to help myself in this situation? And then you write down different questions. How can I get healthy? Where can I get medicine? Which doctors can help me? Where is the hospital? You write all kinds of questions that can help you, and then you select the best ones and then work on them. Yeah, by practice. And nobody is totally stupid, because people have different kinds of intelligence. Some people have more of one, less of the other one. So your IQ can be very low, but your EQ, emotional intelligence, can be very high. Your musical intelligence can be high. So you cannot say that you are totally stupid. You may be less intelligent in one area, but in other areas you may be more intelligent. They say that now there is 7, 8 intelligences, and that you can measure, they say, in the science. But nobody is just. I mean, there is people who are maybe have mental illness and they are really like autistic or whatever. So, not autistic. Autistic people can be so smart. retarded. You can't think very much. You can't use your intelligence very much. You just exist on a physical platform. Mind and brain doesn't work very much. So that's rare. And we have this third principle, expand your intelligence. So you can always expand your intelligence. Okay, so we move on to the second one. The second one is use positive language. The first one, I have a list of Arjuna's questions, but my reference verse for the first part is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 5. This is the verse about questions, and the purport, in the purport Srila Prabhupada speaks about the importance of questions. It's amazing. Reference for the second part, which is use positive language, is Bhagavad Gita 17:15. Speaking words that are pleasing, truthful, beneficial, not agitating to others, and always reciting the Vedic literature. This is austerity of speech. So this you can use for your inner dialogue, and this you can use for your communication with others. So this is spiritual, positive. You use spiritual language and positive language. And Krishna gives these instructions how to speak, how to communicate with yourself and with others. And he says in the purport that you should support with quotes from the scriptures what you say, that you should not speak nonsense. We should not speak nonsense. That we should not agitate people by our speech. That Guru can be strict with disciples but not with others, speaking the truth. And in the Bhagavatam there is examples of Prithu Maharaj's speech, which was very meaningful and spiritual and beautiful. I have a collection of quotes on fine speech. Opposite of fine speech is harsh speech, durukti. So, durukti is a child of envy and death. So you can imagine how harmful is harsh speech, and we use it. So we should avoid durukti. I have experienced that a kind email can save somebody's life, and harsh words can kill a person or induce a person to harm themselves, to commit suicide or to attempt suicide. So we should be careful how we speak, but in order to be able to speak nicely to others, we have to learn this inner dialogue, how we talk to ourselves. If in our mind we are so negative about ourselves, that I'm bad, and about others, they are bad, then when you speak, it will come out. So, you have to practice positive language first within your mind, then you can speak positively and spiritually. So they call it positive thinking, but we want to think like a devotee, so we learn from the Shastra how to think like a devotee, how to feel like a devotee, how to desire like a devotee. So this is something that we want to practice. Okay, any questions about speech? Yeah?
What about when we have this habit to speak very harsh, when we have this habits, long year habits to speak harsh, then how there is some practical methods and techniques how we can change our harsh speakings?
Speak sweetly.
Sweetly?
Sweetly.
Yeah, okay.
Speak kindly. Practice speaking kindly. You can read aloud Shastra, you can read conversations where people speak. Where saintly personalities speak. For example, you can read what Prithu Maharaj says.
And then it will comes also from, it is not coming from the heart, the sweet words.
You can try to be sweet from the heart. Try to be sweet from the heart. Try to see others as children of God, as your brothers and sisters, and try to uplift people with your words. Try to encourage them, inspire them, give them hope, give them new life. Highlight their good qualities. Try to show them their own potential. With your words, you can do so much service. People can tell you, oh, you are just talking. But actually by talking, you can do so much service for people that they can completely turn around their lives. Also by written word. By written word, you can also, if you write, use positive language when you're writing or sending messages. For example, you can eliminate sarcasm from your vocabulary. Eliminate sarcasm.
No sarcasm.
No sarcasm.
Sarcasm is like this humor, right? This
Irony?
yeah.
Ironic? Yeah, different things.
Why? This is so nice.
When I started,
Maybe example of sarcasm. An example word of sarcasm.
let's say you don't know, you don't play mridanga well, and you are sitting, we are taking lunch, and I say, Prabhupada Prabhu, oh, Sugi is a great mridanga player. Yeah.
So sarcasm in this way is against the austerity of speech, truthfulness. This is why you say to eliminate it?
Against which one is sarcasm?
Truthfulness.
Yeah, you can say, yeah.
However, what is the fine difference between using words of encouragement, although not completely true?
You can have some foundation in reality if you praise. If you praise them, if you encourage them. Sometimes you can say, I encourage you to do that. So this is encouragement. I encourage you to do something. But if you speak about glorifying or praising, then you always find something in reality to praise them. That you have done this nicely, and you specifically describe what they have done nicely, and then they will feel that this is not only flattery, or it's not only words, but there is some basis in reality for what you are saying, and they will feel that you want to appreciate them, that you want to encourage them by your praise. There is a term, catch people doing things right. Yeah.
Catch people doing things right.
Yeah.
This is a funny game, I think.
It's a very nice game. Because our mind is like a fly, always looking for for something bad. But a bee always goes for the nectar. Bzzz. So be a bee, not a fly.
Fly like a bee, don't be like a fly.
Yeah. Okay, any other?
But we can like sarcasmus, like if we're a good friend and we can make these jokes. Like sarcasmus.
Be careful with jokes, because jokes also can make a relationship cheaper. Become too familiar, then start to make offenses slowly. So better think, what can I say that will benefit him the most, instead of like doing like this and But use this time, these 5 minutes together or 1 hour, for maximum benefit. So time is flying, we are dying, so we don't have time for prajalpa.
So you mean this sarcasmus joke can like begin on the beginning very harmful and like harmless,
Yeah,
harmless, and
yes.
then become more and more. Then I will do it to other people's, and then
Yes.
it will become
Yeah, you enjoy it. You like to challenge people's egos because you think you are qualified to do that. So better to support the soul than to challenge false ego. We are experts in wasting time. We are really experts. We can find so many ways to waste time. And one of the symptoms of someone who is in ecstatic love, it's in the nectar of devotion, is that he doesn't like to waste time. So, and if you hit 60, like this year I will be 60, then you're thinking, how many years I still have? So, every second. In Torino, I was chanting and drinking sometimes water, and I was thinking, when I put japa away, and in between taking water, these few seconds, I should also chant without japa, because I may die while I'm trying to drink water, and at that time, if I'm just somewhere, then I may not chant at the moment of death. So every second we can use for service. So if you think sarcasm is service, then you can be sarcastic. But if sarcasm is sense gratification for you or for other person, then it's a waste of time. Okay? We can move to the third one. Expand your intelligence. For this section, it's important to understand that we have much more intelligence that we are using. There is scientific studies where they say that we use 2 or 3% or 10% of our brain. So we should find ways how to use more of our intelligence. I have created an acronym called UI. This is one of the most powerful success principles that I teach. And UI means use your intelligence. So if you remember UI, it's easy to remember. Whenever you are confused, just remember UI. And then I will give you more tools. Then what really stimulates intelligence? What stimulates intelligence is what we spoke about in the first part. Excellent questions.
Prabhupada said it requires intelligence to ask questions and wisdom to answer them.
Oh, really? Where? Please find me this quote.
If I have internet, I'll look for it.
Okay. Wow, that's great. I will repeat it. Prabhuji said that Srila Prabhupada said that it takes intelligence to ask questions and the wisdom to answer them. So I will look for this quote. Even the local church is confirming this. So, have you seen my gadget, my tool? Suri bought me this and I used it in Torino. And if you see the video from Torino, that's what's done with this. It hold the phone. So thank you. Thank you 7 times. No, 108. So, how can we expand our intelligence, you tell me?
Like we did like last time, this how I can get disciplined and I write everything up, all the ways I can like extend my brain.
Ideas. Brainstorming.
Yeah.
Brainstorming, okay. What else? How else?
Asking people who can answer your questions.
Yes, excellent, yeah?
Do some yoga which extends your brain.
Yeah, get oxygen in the brain, then you can think better, yeah?
Read books, proper books.
Exactly. So we can expand our intelligence by learning from intelligent people. We can expand our intelligence by learning from intelligent people like Srila Prabhupada, he's super intelligent. From Krishna, from him comes all intelligence. So you can try to connect to the super soul also and pray the super soul for guidance, because matak smritir jnanam apochanam cha, jnanam, knowledge or intelligence comes from the super soul. And learn from smart people. I'm always learning from smart people. Sometimes they're not devotees, they're professionals, coaches, but they have amazing ideas how to help people. My passion for questions I got from them, because all coaches speak about questions. I have a whole folder with books about questions, only about questions. So it's a great area, great field of learning. You can always learn some new questions that you can use to help others or to help yourself. So learning from others, inquiring, and brainstorming, stretching your own brain. Questions stimulate intelligence, so you can ask always these 2 magic words: what else? What else can you think about in relation to this? What other ideas do you have? And then when you sit and write different ideas, I have this exercise that I recommend to you. I have done it with 2 of you. 20 idea exercise. Then if you have a problem, then I ask you to write down 20 ideas, and then you think.
Can you elaborate on this?
Huh?
What do you mean with 20 ideas?
If you have a problem, I ask you, okay, what are the 20 ideas how you can solve it?
20 ideas, okay. Yeah, what's happening?
I ask you, have you thought about this? Then you say, I have thought a little bit, but you tell me that, but you're more experienced, you're a senior, I came to you for answers, and then I ask you to think more on the spot and write it down. And then you can see that actually you have more ideas than you thought. Like this. So these are some of the ways to expand intelligence. Anything else? Any questions?
You think everyone can become intelligent, even he's very spaced out?
Yes. And you're not so disabled as you think.
Okay.
You have much more intelligence than you, but you have to exercise it. You have to use questions. You have to learn from the intelligent people and do brainstorming. Actually, individual brainstorming, sometimes they call mindstorming. When you do it with yourself, with your own mind. So
You think video games will help to activate brain activities?
you can ask my nephew. He wins contests. He gets €500, and I have never played them, and only he can tell you the value of the games, but I cannot.
But with this thinking, positive thinking, so we can block with bad thinking we can block to expand our intelligence, right? When
Yes.
we are thinking like
Yes.
I am spaced out like this, so in this moment I'm blocking to expand my intelligence.
This is beautiful. If I had the sweet, I would give you a sweet. Negative thinking limits your intelligence. This is absolutely true. Excellent.
Yeah, of course.
So if we look what limits our intelligence, then we can discuss things like this, so that we want to avoid it. But I usually speak about what expands your intelligence, but if you look at what limits your intelligence, you can avoid it, and in this way you can expand your intelligence. Now, how can we use our intelligence spiritually, positively and productively? In the 17th chapter, where the austerity of the mind is described, Srila Prabhupada says, think of the welfare of others. Think how you can benefit others. This is the best use of intelligence. How can you give them Krishna? Can you give them the holy name? How can you give them the Shastra? How can you give them Prasadam?
What was it? How to give?
How can we benefit others? How can we give them something valuable?
This is the austerity of our mind.
It's 1716,
But what if
austerity of the mind.
Spiritually, then, not the austerity. Austerity, yeah, okay.
Well, this is in the purport. For some people, it may be austerity to think of the benefit of others if they are selfish, because they always think about themselves. So it's an austerity. Oh, now I have to think about the benefit of somebody else. Come on.
But can we also think? For me, I think I have problem to think benefit myself. My problem. Can we tell also this as a problem?
You can think about your benefit also. What is the best bet for you? Arjuna is asking this question. You know, what is best for me? So you can also ask this question. And the best for you is to help others. Because in this way, some people say that the most selfish activity is to be selfless. That you do for others, but you get so many credits in Krishna's eyes.
But it's not like sometimes if we just want to help others and ignore ourselves.
It's a good point.
Sometimes we want to try to love others and give them other love, but we don't have love for ourselves, and we don't pay attention to our needs. So, in what way is this?
You have to take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. Srila Prabhupada says, save yourself first.
And take care others to take care yourself.
If you help others, you also help yourself, because you learn something about the problems and you get spiritual credits for this. You know, you please Krishna. If you please Krishna, then what else can you achieve? I mean, this is the highest achievement. So, but Krishna is pleased also if you take care of your body, of your mind, and make it fit for devotional service. So, you want to be a strong lover of Krishna, not weak. Yeah, warrior. Okay, this is intelligence. Grow giver's heart. Give up selfishness, become selfless. Dadati pratigrinati guya maketi prichati bhunkte bhujayate chaiva shalvida pritilakshanam. 6 exchanges of love between devotees is giving gifts, giving prasadam, receiving prasadam, sharing your mind, listening to others, and having abundance mentality, that there is abundance of everything in the universe. The universe is very rich, it's very abundant. Nothing is lacking in the universe, we just don't know how to get it. The more you give, the more you get, so you can give even more. And one devotee said, so I can get even more. And I said, yes, so you can give even more. So there is no limit to this to this game. This proverbial statement. If you are a giver, God will give you a lot of resources because He likes when we are giving. And it's in our nature. It's our dharma is actually service and giving. Dharma is described in the introduction of the Gita as our eternal nature, eternal characteristic, eternal occupation, and this is service.
So can we tell a servant is somebody who's giving?
Yes. But serve with love, not with grudge. Not because you have to, but because you want to.
Yes, also wenn jemand dich verletzt hat, dann bist du noch ein bisschen zornig auf ihn.
We want to learn giving without expecting anything in return. And we want to give because we want to please Krishna and devotees. That's unconditional giving. If the giving is conditional, then it's business. Don't be afraid to give because there is unlimited resources.
So even if that means if you're thinking, oh, I have not enough money, should I maybe buy him this or not? This is actually limited thinking.
Well, you have to be smart, intelligent when you are deciding, because you give according to your means, but you also have to take care of yourself or your family. If you have a family, you can't just give everything to the neighbors. You have to. Your first duty is to give to your family. But if you are only giving to your family, then it becomes closed circle and selfish. So you encourage your family, let's give to the other family some prasadam or whatever, some support. But there is always something to give. If you don't have money, you can give support, encouragement, glass of water, piece of clothes. There is always something to give. Just practice giving every day, giving something.
It has not immediately something to do with material things, right? It can also some words.
Yes. Yeah, you can make a list. What would I like to give in your life? And then you have a big list. And when you forget, you just look at the list. What can I give? You can start your day with the question, what can I give today? And to whom? It's a great way to start the day. You can give your ears for listening. You can give advice. You can give knowledge, encouragement, support, praise, correction. If you are a leader, your duty is to correct 5% and to encourage 95%.
To give 5%?
Correct.
Correct 5%.
Correction 5%. Even if you really enjoy this 5%, but do it 5%, not more. You know, they do sandwich feedback. First say something nice, then improvement, then again something nice. So you can see that people really enjoy this middle part. Give feedback. It's real nectar. This is only introduction and this is only conclusion, but this is the real meat. Real nectar. A burger. Veggie burger. Veggie burger.
Sometimes if the person is starting to give feedback, the sandwich, and you know this technique, then you know that the person won't actually correct you. So you will only see the middle part, right? The correcting part.
So therefore I give you, they say different things. They say for every correction you have to give 5 glorifications.
Yeah.
But what if this, like, I do a sandwich feedback, and the positive part, I make just, the positive part is maybe not honestly, because I'm making this positive part just to make this middle part, so then he will feel it, right? And then it's not more the sandwich thing,
So you can do this 1 to 5. For every correction you give 5 glorifications, so you will think twice. Oh, if I correct him, then I have to glorify him 5 times. So better I don't do it. Krishna will arrange something, Somebody will correct him, because we have this rule here that for every correction I have to give 5 praises. My God, it's tapasya. I will try to suggest this to this temple to implement in your different culture of this temple, or how you say, these rules of the house rules. For every correction, 5 praises. You can do it insincerely, but you have to do it. It's hard enough. You can really enjoy the correction part, but if you do this, you will develop a taste for glorifying devotees, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that. Okay, so any questions about giving? Any doubts?
That's 11:20.
11:20?
Yeah.
How long takes the 6th part?
We did 4.
Yes, 15, 16. I can make it shorter, longer, whatever. I don't know. When you have to go?
Go for
When?
kitchen service, because I need to take shower now.
11:30 you have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you have to go.
11:30.
Okay, so in 10 minutes we can cover 1.5 or 2 topics, if you don't have questions.
We can continue tomorrow. Maybe.
Yes?
We can.
Tomorrow we can start and going deeper into each of them. Maybe tomorrow we cover 2, then we have more time, if you like to discuss. But today's overview, very short. Become a trusted guide. This is about taking responsibility for preaching, for guiding people, for managing. Trust is very important. If you can get people trust, then they will be more happy, they will be more helpful, they will be more protected. So, how to gain trust? How to become a trustworthy person? If you are a trustworthy person, people will tend to trust you. There is 2 things, character and competence. So if your character is good, people will tend to trust you, but also you need to have competence. If you have only one or the other, it's not enough to gain full trust. If you only have character, you're a good guy, but you're incompetent, people will not trust you.
What is competent?
I'll explain. And if you are very competent and you don't have a good character, people will not trust you. Competent means you're skilled, you have skills, you know how to do things, you know how to apply the knowledge. So competence means you have knowledge and know how to apply it.
Like they can trust me, ask how to drive a car, and then
Yes.
I can show them how to.
Yes, or you have been trusted maybe to cook something or to cut vegetables quickly and precisely without cutting your fingers. So you're competent. Cutter. And and character means that you are a good example yourself. You are a good example. It's here. And you care. People see that you are really care about them.
Your being character means you are a good
Example.
example.
And that you genuinely care. I have an ebook called Become a Trusted Guide, so you can learn more about it. It may be 20, 30 pages, A4. There is more to say about this, but the essence is these 2 points about character and competence. And in any service, for example, if you start a business, you want your clients to trust you, so you are a trusted guide. They know they can always come to you and you will give your best to help them. Even if you cannot help them, you know who can help them. You send them to somebody else. Maybe if you're selling something and your competitor on the opposite side of the street has, for example, I want a black suit and you have only pink suit, then you say, oh, they have black suit if you need it. And they say, thank you so much. You didn't try to sell me pink suit because just you want to sell, but you think about what I need. You understand? So like this, your needs are the priority of the salesperson or of the leader, not his own business or his own benefit. There is a couple of stories, but we don't have time now to speak about that. We can speak over the next couple of days. One thing you can think about in your free time, whom do you already trust and why? Then you can make a list of things that build trust.
Like, it's also possible to trust, so to build trust, that we first open up ourselves, so that the person can trust us, because we open our heart to them, so they have more trust to open themselves also.
Excellent.
So we need to be an open person to get trust.
If you want people to trust you, you have to show your trust in them also. This is connected. This is a very good point. Yes.
I need to be an open person.
So trust is a choice. You choose to trust, and then you see, can you expand it? Can you expand trust? I mean, I choose to trust to be here. You choose to trust me that, I will contribute something here. And as we interact between each other, then it either grows or diminishes. For example, I work a lot with people, and I used to have a bad sadhana because I was coaching people in other countries, in other continents, so that means I was working in the night. And then I'm only in the part of the morning program or not. And then sometimes devotees objected, justly. And then I understood that if I'm not there, they're having doubts. Is he serious about spiritual life? Does he respect Srila Prabhupada and deities? Does he maybe, think that he's above sadhana? Like this. So we see that if we don't show up, then immediately devotees ask, what's happening? Is he sick or is he not serious? And then, so I make it also a priority only when I'm very, very sick or I have come super late and, I really can't come. I mean, I try, even when I go late, I try to get up, but make it a priority because it builds trust. Good sadhana builds trust. You know that. Good sadhana builds trust in devotees. And so we can make a list of things. There is one thing, I will mention only one thing, then we can make a huge list. What builds trust, and opposite of that diminishes trust. So making and keeping promises builds trust, including self-trust. If you promise yourself, tomorrow I'm getting up at 3, and then you sleep until 6, then your self-confidence goes down. And you can say, well, you can have so many excuses, but you feel like a stone in your stomach. You feel bad about this, that you didn't keep your promise to yourself. Keeping promises to others is very obvious, that if you promise a couple of times, then, and you don't keep it, then people's trust goes down. So this is one powerful way to build trust. Make a promise and keep it. To yourself or to others. Self-trust or trust. Okay? And finally, make a wonderful contribution. Now, this is a huge area, and I mentioned this to two of you. Wonderful contribution. This is about our mission. What is your mission? What do you want to leave behind? What is your legacy? What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want people to say at your funeral? He did this, he did that. I hated him. I loved him. So what kind of contribution you want to leave on this planet before you die? And then we work on the mission statement, personal mission statement, and we have a big questionnaire for this. And I sometimes help devotees with that. This also helps with making decisions, with time management. But you should, it's good to clearly define what is your mission. I want to say something that when I came here, then you approached me practically after the first class, asked me how long you will be here, and then started to ask very serious questions and asking me what I need, and so immediately I felt that I can trust you because you are approaching me as a very helpful person and also very curious, very interested in knowledge and learning and improving. So we know actually what builds trust, but we have to practice more. Also, when I came back to Steve, received me nicely, immediately provided everything I need for here, and gave me extra blanket. So I saw that he's helpful, and I can ask him maybe again actually he said, if you need anything, you can ask me. And then I was thinking, okay, I should have the same attitude towards you if you need anything or if I can help in any way. And in this way, we build this mutual service relationship, which is automatically a trusting relationship. So in Vaishnavism, we have this culture of service and it builds trust. And Srila Prabhupada said we should base our relationships on love and trust. Now, when you become a trusted guide, you become a leader actually. And then you can make a wonderful contribution by engaging others, by helping others, by supporting others, by helping others grow. This planet needs leaders. There is so many leaders outside. Nowadays you have so many success teachers and people worship them, success gurus. I attended a 4,000 people event, free event, Alexandra Palace in London. One success guru came, and first thing he said, "How many of you want more money? How many of you want more sex?" Then he said, "I'm not sure about sex, but I will teach you how to make money." So people worship them because they give them tools how to be happy and rich and how to enjoy the material world. But we don't want to be such kind of a teacher which is helping their sinful sense gratification. We want to help them get inspired for Krishna consciousness, but also have understanding for their needs, their material needs. So we don't want to tell them give up all your needs, but try to engage everything and purify or take care of your needs, but don't forget don't neglect your spiritual needs or your spiritual quest, pursuit. And but I think it's good if we show people that we are practical, that we know how to manage time, that we know how to deal with money, that we know how to make money, that we understand relationships, what builds trust. I think this can help a lot our preaching, all these tools. Then when they see that we act in the mode of goodness, they will have more trust in us, and then this can help to raise them to transcendence. which we are also not on, but at least we can help them to go to the Transcendental platform. This will help us to go to the Transcendental platform. Okay, any other comment, last comment and question, and then we can stop for today? I apologize, because when I speak to them, then it's very intense, and then I lose track of time because we speak so many things, and I don't visit them very often, so when I go, then, I just forget. There is no clock to see. So please let me know when you see me, I'm not here, just find me and grab me by the neck and say, okay, let's go, because we have service, and I will stop. But as soon as Prabhu told me, I immediately came out. This Prabhupada Charan Prabhu, he said they are waiting for you, so I apologize for that.
No, no problem. Thank you for